Okay, clap again. 1, 2, 3.
Yay!
What's up, everyone, and welcome to Coffee with Ola. Today, I'm extremely proud to have Sharon and Stefan of Within Temptation with me. Welcome, guys.
Well, thank you for having us.
And this is actually a very special moment because my first Coffee with Ola guest was Rude.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that's what he said yesterday.
I saw him yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes, and that was back in my home apartment. I would bring him into my bedroom and record a Coffee with Ola because that's just how it was.
I can even remember that he did that actually.
Yes.
That was years ago.
Oh, and it must have been like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it's very good to have you here. You're on a press tour right now. Yeah. I thought you guys were touring in Europe, but you were announcing the tour for next year.
Yeah.
And it's a headlining show.
Yes.
Again. It's been a long time since.
Well, we did just recently last year. We catched up our Worlds Collide tour with Evanescence.
Yes.
It's a co-headline tour.
Oh, that was a co-headline.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And but that was like catching up after the long period of the pandemic, of course. Mm-hmm. So the next tour is going to be next year, October more or less. November, December, and then that's a Bleed Out tour. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
Awesome. You just released your new album, Bleed Out.
Yes.
And I've listened to it, and it's amazing. So congratulations to that.
Thank you very much.
And as a fan of heavy guitars and production, it was right up my alley, I must say. With the first couple of singles coming, it was. It's nice, but is it symphonic metal? Still?
I don't think so, but it's very difficult for our band to fit in a certain. Every band says this, of course, but I feel it's really true with our band because we have so many different influences in there, and we change so much with every album that we started out as a metal band, to my opinion, and then where we are now is so different from what we started with 27 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Is it because?
Yeah, definitely.
Is it because you're different people, or is it just that?
Different tastes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you evolve, you want to try new stuff, and then you end up in a totally different kind of, well, not totally different, but in different kind of music genres, I guess.
Yeah.
Figuring out.
Finding
during
yourself.
the process.
Like, exactly. Oh, this is nice.
All right, okay, let's go this direction.
We are inspired by, like other bands as well, especially New Blood. We love new bands coming up and having new ideas, bringing something new to the scene, and then we try stuff that we think, well, you're inspired by many things and many bands, many genres, but then you take certain things of different genres and put it in your own kind of music genre.
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
So can you mention a couple of bands like that were you may be a little bit inspired of with this new album?
Well, I can't say like it was inspired by this band or that band.
Bits and pieces.
Yeah, bits and pieces of like metalcore bands mostly, and getting a little bit. Well, it was really nice to listen to that music because it brings something new for us to try out, and of course we'll never be a metalcore band, but we just try to implement certain things that we like about it. And so you have, of course, I'm a big fan of Bad Omens, for instance, but there is also like NSOK, which is a German band. There's a lot of guys doing amazing stuff out there that we really love listening to.
A little bit of Sleep Token.
Yeah, Sleep Token as well. Yeah.
Okay.
You can sense that some parts.
Right.
The vibe is there.
The drama, basically.
Yeah.
Because that's what I hear is it's so dynamic, the music.
Yeah.
It's like full on.
Yeah.
Then it's very dynamic and it really tells a story. Something I read about this new album is that you guys you're not under any record label anymore.
No,
you're
exactly.
independent now.
Yeah, we are.
And this is very close to my heart because everything I do is independent.
Yeah.
And
I love that, by the way.
I am on a label with one band, but everything else I do is, so I get both worlds. I get to see both worlds, which is great because then you understand why labels exist and why you shouldn't use a label, for instance, nowadays. They were good and useful in the past when the artists are meant to be artists.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know, as you want to have more control over everything, you know, going independent is absolutely, you know, is the way to go.
Yeah.
So tell me a little about the decision to go independent. And
well, the thing was that we had still one option for an album with a record label, and then we said like, okay, we would like to release more singles, like in the moment, because a lot of times, especially with topics that we're talking about now, it's happening now. Like if you write music and then 3 years later it ends up on an album.
You want to be more current.
Yeah, you want to be current. Yeah, exactly. And they said, well, we can't do that. We can't just release singles whenever you want to. We just want to have like 2 singles up front and then the album. Well, we said, yeah, but then we see that differently. Yeah, why? Well, because they're traditional. The old school. Yeah, they can only. Well, they have a lot of bands also, and also they've put you in the box in a time frame. You have to be releasing your album then. Then I can do work on that band after that, and don't make a hustle. Don't make problems. You don't take, you know, don't do more singles than we're asking you to. But we want to.
Yeah.
Don't change.
And also because I think nowadays it's very important to keep people engaged with your band. And what happens a lot of times when you have the traditional way of releasing is like you have a short time span that you've been working on for 3 years, and then you have 2 weeks of like promotion or 3 weeks maximum, and then nobody talks about your album anymore, and then you can start over again or touring, and then if that wasn't successful, you're pretty much effed.
So you're basically what I'm advocating for, just scattering news.
Yeah,
because that's exactly what you need to do.
Exactly.
And sometimes, you know, it's bad timing, sometimes it's good timing.
Yeah, exactly. And you take it as it comes, and then you pick it up with the next one.
But if you only have one piece of news, the album, and it's bad timing,
it's gone.
It's all gone.
Yeah, exactly. So we do have a distribution deal, which is important because you can't do everything yourself.
But then you get to pick and choose whatever parts you can do yourself.
And also distribution, they have like a lot of experience themselves as well, because they did that already with some other artists as well. So they do have like sometimes, you know, ideas how to handle certain things that we are just still searching about, like what's the right way to go. And so that was a perfect new collaboration actually.
I mean, I think a lot of bands are like this because no one really knows what's going to happen.
So
everyone's kind of just following and feeling, okay, what is working right now? Is it, you know, releasing a lot of YouTube videos and singles, or is it like, okay, do we need to do TikTok, or like, you know,
everybody's just all the time. And social media is.
So, but being independent definitely helps. Then at least it's in your interest.
Exactly. And we will do the effort for it. Exactly. And another thing is that I think is also important is like you said, you have to keep people engaged. Well, there's a small thing I wanted to add actually to releasing singles. What we did was also to have the idea like releasing more singles in the moment. That idea came from different music genres actually, because the dance music is doing this for already ages.
Of course.
And they also do other stuff in a really different way. And it is, although it might not be my musical taste, it's very good for everyone to maybe check out other music genres, because everybody does it in a different way. Instead of discovering the wheel again ourselves, like try out some other music genres and see how they do things. It's interesting.
Yeah, a lot of the, like you said, like dance and I think like DJs, they release singles only, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and they, I mean, we know metal fans are very traditional.
Yeah, and I love that also. Yes. But in this case, it's nice to see.
I don't think it's bad to bring in inspiration from other genres.
No, you can learn from that.
The way they release music.
Yeah, exactly.
You released a bunch of singles. Throughout the pandemic, you basically just constantly released singles.
Yeah.
Because I was looking through the discography, I'm like, oh shit, okay, there's so many
different
EPs, or like, okay, you had instrumental songs. And And why is the decision of having instrumental songs at the end of the, or it's like a digital deluxe edition or something like that?
Yeah, well, it's even on the streaming platforms.
Yes.
And it's for people that they can play, you maybe along with, or maybe sing along with, and then. And there's also people that like just to have the instrumental parts behind films or something or whatever.
Why I noticed this and I'm like, interesting. It's because I did the exact same.
Oh,
you know,
really?
I've always done that in the back, because sometimes, I mean, for the music that I play, like it's death metal. and the vocals, it's very trivializing, and it can really divide people with a vocalist like that. So I just removed the vocals and made an instrumental too. And people that just want to work out or just want to listen while they're working can listen to that. So I was thinking like, oh, this is so smart. They're doing this. They're seeing what I saw. And that was I was just really happy about that.
The vocals are distracting, or what?
Because some people say that vocals.
I'm kidding.
No, but some people say that during when they're studying or working, that they feel like instrumental music is maybe a little bit more easier to because when someone is singing, they listen to the lyrics.
And then disturbs, of course, because then they have to think about it.
Not saying that vocals aren't important, because that's not what I'm saying. But I just
I'm leaving.
No, but I saw that you release so much stuff. And there's so many like digital, like deluxe editions and all that. And then you released new singles for the album. And I noticed that you also used or utilized artificial intelligence in this. And probably one of the first bands that we see more and more coming. But you guys were like one of the first that started with this. And that also, I also saw that as a connection to like, okay, they're going independent. They're probably trying something new and cool and all that. And it's just it's really refreshing from the outside seeing the way you guys work, and they're releasing singles. This is like this talking to me directly. This is exactly how I would do it, and then they release the album, and you maybe even like continue to release singles after the album has been done. Who knows? That's just putting an idea in your head,
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, if you have like artificial intelligence that can help you out, and maybe that could be something to keep the album going for longer. You're such a successful album. I don't think you need the help, but it's just as an independent musician.
I like that. I didn't think about the AI actually, but with singles somehow combining that.
Just a visualizer.
Visualize.
It doesn't have to be you guys. It could be just a visualizer.
Well, that's also a very interesting topic, because we had a lot of, if anything had a backlash as well, it was that as well. People really hated that.
Oh, really?
And they, but they don't. A lot of people are very afraid of AI, but I really see it like the new, like the industrial revolution in the times. This is. The genie is out of the bottle, you can't put it back in again. And unfortunately, the biggest thing about AI is, again, that technology is ahead of law.
It can be dangerous.
It can be dangerous, but also I think if people just make like a reference to what we can do and not can't do, then that would be really nice, because then you know what to... Well, what is allowed, and we wouldn't be fighting about it on the internet. But like, you're stealing my job and blah blah blah.
That's because that's what the argument is about.
Mostly.
Theft from the artists that would have made this, but when creating a video like this, it's really not how it works. It's much more work than doing a normal video. So more people involved, much more expensive.
You can do a visualizer without the band, of course. That is not expensive. But then we did the normal video. We shot it in the normal way with the whole band, whole filming crew. And
converted it basically.
And converted it into the tool of AI, and then it came out like that. And we had a picture that normally would never ever even be able for us to pay for someone to make that, because it's so time consuming to make a video like that even. So, and now you have this tool which makes it easier for you, and it's a combination of a lot of styles, I guess, and you can choose from that. So you're still behind the wheel trying to make those options, of course, and but we didn't cut anyone out, and I think it's important that people well, I feel that not everybody knows how it works, so we're here also to tell like how it does work, and we're going to post probably soon also a video behind the scenes how we actually did it, so people can see that everybody was there.
Cool. No, I think it's very important. I think a lot of people are scared of AI.
Totally, and they're right in a way, a certain way, but
But it's also like people that were complaining about internet when it came along. It's just a fluke, and they're a little bit afraid of it, but they don't realize that this is going to save a lot of people time and effort. And it's basically like you said.
Also, if you look at maybe medical way, they can trace cancer, for instance, way easier than like.
Yes, and I mean, for me personally, like even like working with Photoshop, stuff like that, AI in Photoshop has really helped me to save a lot of time. And my brother that is doing graphics here, he's also, he immediately he goes.
Understood it.
He's so happy about the AI because suddenly the world opens up.
Yeah, you can
rather than being
yeah.
going inside and be like, what about my style? The thing is, he can take his style and just
combine
spin
stuff. Yeah, exactly.
So it's really dividing people. I can understand this.
And what people don't realize also, to my opinion, is that a lot of creative people actually are working with it. Everybody that we're working with who is creative is working with it. And I mean, like people making videos and those kind of things. So it's
another creative tool, which
that you can use.
Gives you an angle or ideas that you wouldn't.
Somebody that works for us, she made an autobiography for us, and she did it with AI. Like, just curious to see what.
ChatGPT.
Yes, exactly.
Just started using that a week ago.
Yeah. Also, Well, anyway, she made that. She made it and was like really good, but then she of course still had to go through because it had mistakes in there, and put her own signature to it. And then she said, "Well, what do you think?" So wow, it's pretty amazing because on the internet there's already so much about us, and it's just it's just there.
Yeah.
And then it just saves time.
It does. It really does.
So I was really happy
about that. But it's interesting because just with ChatGPT, you said you just started using it.
Yeah.
It's actually becoming worse.
Is it?
Because it like all the articles that come out now are ChatGPT related. Like they just push onto the internet, and those articles also become involved in the engine. So it feeds itself a little bit. So
exactly.
the results are becoming worse and worse. In the beginning, it was like
good? Really
good.
Less truthful or something.
I don't know. It's just sketchier. Okay. It's a little weirder.
Okay.
But maybe they're probably gonna find a way to make this better.
Yeah.
But I think it's incredibly exciting.
Yeah, but to me, it's a nice time. Yeah.
I mean, my only scare is probably when that's already happening when it becomes when it started writing music, for instance.
That's
which has already happened. I mean, a lot of people do this and they generate songs after songs after songs, basically generating so there aren't any songs left or riffs left or whatever. And but then, in my opinion, just like with this, is that but then your project becomes more unique.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you will have your flair, and we know that you're not AI generated music, so then your music becomes more worth, in my opinion. That's how I see it.
Yeah, let's hope that.
Let's hope it goes that direction.
I think so too.
In a beautiful world.
For me,
it's interesting, these tools. I'm really going to dive into them a little bit as well to see what it's about.
Yes.
What you can do with it.
Yep.
Well, for me, actually, to write music, it's the most magical thing there is, and I would never want to actually use AI, to my opinion, because it will ruin my. Well, I don't know. I just love the fact that there's like a empty canvas in the morning, at the end of the day there's a painting, and I don't know where it came from, and it just went through all like this, and then and not just me, but everyone that I'm working with, and somehow something is there, and that's the most beautiful thing there is. So I don't think I'll ever use AI because I don't want to lose that, and I might, if I might start using it, I don't know.
You're afraid that you're gonna use it too much?
Or maybe just use only that. Well, I loved the way I was doing it. Actually, I don't want to change that because that's the most beautiful part of the whole music industry for me, or everything that I'm doing with music. The starting point, and the only thing I'll always keep on doing is making music instead of like performing is something that I will do and stop with at a certain point. But making music, creating something, that's
true. But what I think it might be cool for, maybe just to spark a feeling or an idea or whatever. That's how it is for me now when I write
when you're
something.
blocked,
then I get
inspiration,
an idea from whatever, if it's a movie or a game or just something that gives me a
push
certain feeling, and then I want to do something that gives me this feeling. So that might be something that.
But that's actually what I'm doing nowadays. Also, when I start already, it's like listening to people's music, other people's music, and talk about life, and then that is the inspiration source. But then, if you want to be more direct, if you write in that kind of way, because Robert, for instance, is like that. He's like, okay, I have this song in my mind that I want to write, and he can really make that. It's like I can't do that. Like I have an idea and I want to. This is how it should be. Then you can maybe also, eventually, if you're that kind of songwriter, you can maybe use AI for that, because then it's like, okay, I want to have this kind of type of thing, and like as a basis, and then get ideas from that. But the way I most of the time work, I can't do that. It just whatever comes emotionally to me, that's what ends up there. I can't think of a head like I love that song. I'm gonna make a similar song like that. I could never do that.
Do you, Robert? Do you write together or
not in the same room?
Okay. Oh, okay.
No, we
all right. Okay. Shut the door.
Yeah, shut the door. Shut up.
Don't disturb. Okay. I understand.
And vice versa, of course.
So do you merge ideas, or like do you start with one idea, or do you make different songs?
We start with songs and then we just let other people hear it and then they continue with that and so like evolves, and and vice versa. He comes with a song and then gives it to us and then
All right.
Yeah.
But not sitting in the same room working together.
No, not him and me anyway.
Okay.
We never did that because we really get in a serious fight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's I don't know. No, it's like it's like when you're with your partner. It's like it's too tense.
Yes.
It's delicate,
Well, you probably spend a lot of time together anyways.
Yeah.
And writing music is so personal.
Yeah.
So it's a very, I can understand that the tension can be almost to the point where you probably would get annoyed at each other.
Oh, yeah.
And that's probably not good for a marriage.
No, exactly. And we both want to take the lead most of the time.
Yeah.
It's like, and then it's like just going from this side, he comes from this. Oh, I think, and that's like this.
Or is it okay if I ask about guitars?
Yes, of course. You want me to move out?
No, please.
You want me to swap places? Maybe that's a good idea.
This is okay.
I'm going to be in the middle like.
Do you know much about guitars?
Nothing. A little bit. No.
Okay. No, but
terrible noises.
They make noises and they support the vocals.
Yeah.
So, yes. So I hear a lot of it's 8-string, right, on the album. I heard that.
It's only 8-string nowadays.
Only 8-string. Okay.
Well, not for the high parts.
No.
We use normal guitars when we record that because.
But did that change for this album, or was it 8 strings before?
It came already on Resist album.
Yes, Resist.
Because
Okay.
then the riff started becoming lower already.
Okay.
And then that's when I painted myself into a corner.
You kind of do.
Yeah, because there was also creating solos.
Oh yeah.
So I used the whole thing, and then then I realized that wait, I could have just gotten a 7-string and just detune it, and then just create solos on that one, and then
exactly
I wouldn't be in this problem. But now I'm stuck.
Is Ruud also using 8 strings?
Yeah.
Okay.
We both did the same stupid thing. He also created solos on it, so yeah.
But do you enjoy playing 8 strings more than 6 strings?
I prefer 6 strings.
Yes.
That's how
Why?
it should be. Well,
It's easier to play.
yeah, it's easier.
Oh, okay.
It's the same. I'm the same.
Well, okay, but it looks cooler with 8.
It does.
Yeah.
It does look cool.
I mean, I like 7 strings as well, but for
Okay.
some reason that one extra string, the
Just
eighth one, just
makes
when
it
you
more
look,
difficult.
look down and it's like,
Okay, you can't.
where the hell am I
Yeah,
supposed to put the
my
fingers
hands.
down?
Yeah.
And
I
then
can imagine that.
Normally you're also able to feel it with a 6 string. It's easy. You feel where you are.
Yeah,
With
okay.
8 string,
It's difficult.
it's not
Oh,
really
okay.
the same.
What are you guys using? I know you play Jackson
Yeah.
and Ruud is playing. Is it playing Mayonnaise still?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
it does, yeah.
And you have an 8-string Jackson then.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you guys using live when you're playing?
We are. It's quad cortex.
Okay.
Only now.
Okay.
And for more than half of this album, we also used that for the recording because the way the riffs started becoming everything low. Some of them were much lower.
Okay,
I think.
yeah.
I mean, it's tuned down
Drop.
to E.
Okay, drop E.
But then that wasn't enough. I get the demo guitars and then check. It's like, but okay. Call Daniel, the producer. Okay, we talked about this. There are physical limitations. Now we're down to B, but 1 octave below.
Damn.
And it's like, okay,
I love it.
to be able to do this, I'm gonna have to live. We're gonna have to just play it with a pitch. you know?
Pitch shifter. Yep.
And then the pitch in the quad cortex was
Works.
really good.
Yeah.
It's not fun with the latency and everything, but that one is just below to. It doesn't make it completely annoying.
Yeah. Right.
So then I captured my diesel in the studio together with a neural DSP plugin.
Yeah.
And then that's the sound we used. So it's been pretty smooth for the recordings also. Just plug it in. Okay, so see, pitch down 2, this one, pitch down 5.
Yeah.
Pitch 1. But live it's starting to become, wait a minute, which pitch is this song in? Is it the -3 or the -1?
So you don't have like MIDI controlling it all,
no,
you actually have patches.
We should get into that, because sometimes I forget to switch off the pitch, and then we go to the older song, and then what the hell?
Yeah.
Have you heard this?
Sorry?
Have you heard this happening?
Have you noticed?
Well, actually, I did hear sometimes like this is sounding strange, and I didn't know where it's coming from. It's coming from Ruud or from Stefan, because sometimes they play the same parts of certain things.
Yeah.
So
mostly just look over to Jordan. It's like, it's out of tune.
Yeah, exactly.
And
then oops.
My bad.
Yeah.
No one probably, no one notices.
No, it's both guitars are on.
Yeah.
It just sounds weird. So,
Yeah.
this is a new
An extra
take
layer.
on this one. Yeah.
But do you have cabinets, or do you go straight into the...
Straight.
Okay.
Just straight. Everything just in air, and
Perfect.
Yeah, it is perfect. It's really smooth.
I'm almost thinking like in the touring aspect, like, okay, for everything you remove, it becomes cheaper and easier.
Yeah.
And but you have your own units.
Yeah.
Because you can also use 2 into 1.
Yeah,
and, it's even smaller.
I thought of that first, but kind of became too complicated, because I mean we have them on the side of the stage, and then control it with MIDI boards. But to have one each, I couldn't figure out how to do that. So we
technology.
keep it
Maybe there's an AI that can fix all of this later.
Yeah, the AI is
it can
do
be
the
like, okay,
changing.
there's a solo sector come out, just switch to the solo sound.
And it's gonna like tweak the sound while you're playing.
Yes.
Like,
so now that you've also incorporated more and more 8-string, how does that affect what you're doing and what you can make in terms of melodies and music? Because that adds a pretty big range.
Yeah, exactly.
Going from 6 to 8 or 7 to 8.
Yeah, well, but where we were limited in the past to a certain range, now we have a bigger range to explore, and it gives me more freedom, especially because there is an ending to what sounds nice with my voice, because I have a very light voice, and it's a bit thin also. It's not like a big voice. And then going the tuning going even lower.
Yes.
It makes me unable to.
Yeah,
I finally
just relax.
Thank God, freedom. Yeah, I can go anywhere. So that is a relief for me, and it will give more, different options to go to different melody lines, and I'm looking forward to write more in this. To explore that even more. So.
Very cool.
Yeah,
it's fun.
The palette is becoming bigger.
Yeah, it's a really good mixture of more technical,
totally,
heavier stuff, and the melodic stuff, which really works well.
No, because going back listening to the albums, I hear now, like I said before, the music feels like there's way more room for dynamics.
Like
it's really ups and downs. It's
really
so
going
open. And it really fits the band, I must say. Like it really sounds like a very modern Within Temptation.
Yeah, and I think even because we were actually looking at, for instance, a song called Faster, and I love that song always, but it's really high, and I can sing it, it's not a problem, but I was wondering, why did we do it that high? Can't we do it a little bit lower? And then I remembered again that the verses didn't come out as well if we did that. But now with this, we were like, we should look at some songs maybe differently, that we can maybe make a switch for the future, just for fun, and leave out
version.
Different version without the whole thing that we have always. Like we have, of course, the click track to have everything.
Backing tracks with the orchestra.
Yeah, but also because of the fact that we have everything then at the same time, and that everything's connected to each other. So the visuals and the music and everything is like very professional.
Yes.
But it doesn't leave any room for
too many changes.
No. Yeah, and maybe that's something that's something we can look at for the future. To have not for everything, but just a few songs here and there. Just go like, okay, we're gonna do an extra chorus, yay! For fun. Or drum solo.
Introduce
or
the
they're
band.
gonna do endless solos, of course.
Yes, let's do that one. Just one long note.
Awesome, Sharon. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Stefan, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Pleasure to have you here. Album Bleed Out was out 20th of October.
Yes.
And you guys are touring Europe next year, so I have to wait a full year.
Yeah, sorry.
But I'm coming. I'm gonna go watch you guys.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, exactly. Well, are you gonna have? Are you
That's
touring anything now, or are you just chilling?
Well, no, we're actually gonna start with the production actually of the show.
Oh, okay.
After the whole promotional tour that we're doing now, and we are having a tour in South America in April, but. We have almost 2 years. Yeah, it's a lot of work, and it just as people don't always realize, but it takes so much time, almost as much time as making an album actually. And so yeah, it's going to be our next project from now on. So to make an amazing show again.
Awesome.
So.
Awesome.
Well, I hope to see you there.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Sharon and Stefan of Within Temptation. See you guys.
Thank you.
No, thank you guys.
Nailed it.